What is up, my fellow sackers? YCS Indy is coming up, and I wanted to put this video out and give my viewers an edge. And the card I want to talk about today is Transmigration Prophecy. This card's stonks are definitely going up right now. I've already added it to my side deck. As you can see, I've taken out the second DD Crow for it, because in today's meta, I think it's better than the second Crow. And that's for many reasons. I think many more people are going to be switching to Transmigration Prophecy in the side. I think it'll pop up a lot more. Number one biggest reason is against the Vayu Turbo Mirror. For those who have seen Red Gadget's video that I was on with siding against Vayu Turbo, Transmigration is the best card to side against Vayu Turbo statistically. I know the sample size isn't the highest, but it is, in my opinion, still very good, even if the data might be misleading. And that's for two reasons, or over Crow at least. Transmigration, obviously, the biggest benefit is you put back two cards. When I talk about this card to other people, I ask them, like, hey, if Crevice from a different dimension was legal in Edison format, would you play that card? And most people say, like, yes, like almost instantly. So why not Transmigration Prophecy? The card is almost strictly better. So against Vayu, putting back one piece of an armed wing like a Vayu or Sirocco with a DD Crow is pretty mid. You're essentially trading one card for half a card, and you don't want to trade like that, obviously. Transmigration Prophecy, you don't have to worry about it. You just put back both. So I think that's really good. You set them back completely. If you get the Juicer play with Plague Spreader Zombie, like obviously Crow, you want to hit Plague Spreader Zombie when they stack for Plague. But with Transmigration, you could put Plague back, and you can maybe hit another piece. So that's like a really big juicer. But I think the biggest thing, or the biggest benefit, is when you Transmigration Prophecy and put back the cards into the deck, you do not fuel their power cards like Burial and Return. You make Vayu's ceiling strictly worse. So I think it's really good against Vayu. It might be the best card, honestly. It's also Raikou bait. It's not deck devable if people decide to side in deck dev against your deck. Crow is deck devable, so if you rip Crow, you cannot pitch it immediately. It immediately gets discarded by or destroyed by deck dev. It's just really good. But even into other matchups, it's amazing. So Hero Frogs, for example. You normally do not side DD Crow in against Hero Frog. I don't think it's good because you have to draw both. Like, DD Crowing one random Treeborn Frog is not going to do anything when they have access to two. But with Trans, it's different because you can put both back. So that's really good. You can stun their Monarch plays. But even if you don't, it's a great out to Miracle Fusion as well. They have to have 3 Waters or 3 Heroes, and that's really unlikely. So it's just really great card into Hero Frog as well. It's an extra slot you can side in against them for even more hate. Against Amaryllis. So there's these other decks on the rise, like Amaryllis, Lightsworn. These decks, in my opinion, are on the rise. They're coming up, especially Amaryllis. So against Amaryllis, Crow is obviously good against them. You can banish the Amaryllis when they banish for cost. But now you can Transmigration the Amaryllis back, and they still banish for cost. And it plays around Mark of the Rose, or sorry, DDR. They will have less targets for them to have DDR live. So if you put back like the Titanial, it's one more dead card for them to draw, and they don't have access to Titanial with DDR, so that's really good. It's also Lila Raikou bait if it needs to be. And against Lightsworn, Crow is obviously pretty good against Lightsworn already, but now you get a Crow 2 thing, so you can Crow the Wolf in another name, like if they activate Wolf. If they activate Monster Reincarnation or Beckoning Light, especially Beckoning Light, because now you can hit 2 cards. Now there's 2 cards they can't select with Beckoning. So yeah, I think it's really good into those matchups. Zombies, another deck that DD Crow is put in against, that you can put in Transmigration against. But it might not be as good. I haven't really tested Transmigration to Zombies, but in theory it's fine. You can hit 2 targets, obviously, and it doesn't fuel their return. But I know a lot of zombie players are putting in Trap Stun, and maybe even Royal Decree. So if you're a deck that they would put Trap Stun or Royal Decree against in, Transmigration could be worse. And it's definitely worse into... Trans is definitely worse than DD Crow into things like Dragon Turbo. The stuff you want to hit with Crow and Transmigration, like Debris, Magical Stone Excavation, and Avarice, DD Crow hits all those just the same, so you just rather have the Crow in your hand than the Trans that could get blown out. And then against Quick Draw, it's the same thing. Debris and Avarice are the main things you want to hit, and Crow is obviously better against those cards. And then the last thing, Diva Hero and Diva Hero Beat. So I used to play this card into Diva Hero, especially since my playtesting partners, they are really big on Diva Hero. But then they discovered that Royal Decree is freaking broken in Diva Hero, and Transmigration just is ass compared to Crow then. But if the Diva Hero you're playing against isn't siding in Royal Decree, then obviously Transmigration's better. Hitting 2 targets is really, really good. And then doesn't feel the return, obviously. And then against Diva Hero B, like, you could side it in, maybe, because it hits their Hero Blast, and then it hits Miracle Fusion. Like, DD Crow, I normally very hesitant to put that in. I would not recommend it because it's very easy for them to play around DD Crow. But with Transmigration, it's a lot harder. So I don't know if it's worth it against an aggro deck, but it could be an option. So yeah, I just want to put this video out there really quick. I think it's this card's really good, like I said, and hope someone has success with that YCS Indy. But imagine you have 5 Drugs Engrave and you top deck Dark Arm with Transmigration set. Everyone, thanks for watching. If you like this type of content or just like Edison format in general, please consider subbing. I'll be doing my best to make more and more of this type of content for you guys. Thank you.